always speaking to benevolent beings. I'm sorry, I'm adjusting my laptop. My apologies for environment noises. Okay. Another thing that I feel that I need to make light of. If you are one who is being forcibly tortured with the directed energy weaponry, the voice to skull, the remote neural monitoring, the EEG heterodyning, brain to machine interface, that kind of technology, especially when you have malevolent entities forcibly connected to you via clone that is wearing your neurological signal and energetic signature and astral body signature and frequency. At this time, as distressing and horrific as it is, I still feel very strongly that it needs to be mentioned and made light of so that you are in a more informed place so you can better protect yourself. At this time, those entities are trying to possess beings. And obviously, in using the word possess, they are not asking. So if you come into some kind of if you find yourself in a situation in where an entity is attempting, trying to do that, at that point, if there are entities trying that, it's pretty much with anything being forced on targeted individuals currently, it's pretty much a 24/7 battle. And especially if there are entities trying to possess, the 24/7, the battle just intensifies, unfortunately. So using all your basics, your tools, that's why it is so important to find that place of home within you, your true being, your true self, the frequency and vibration, an emotional feeling of your true self, and put it to memory. Maybe try and find music or activities that bring you back to that point of center within your being is extremely important now. Committing it to memory, committing it to emotional memory, and always be able to, because of the frequency fuckery, you have to be able to call upon that frequency and vibration of your true self as often as you can, and especially in those moments when you're being attacked. If you are being attacked. and if those entities are trying to do other things. Continuing to refuse consent, obviously pushing them out, asserting your presence in your own vessel, that you have every right to your own vessel, that it is yours, that it belongs to you, that it is part of your being, that no entity should be trying to, number one, be attached to you, should be trying, should be attempting to do anything like that. That you are in control of your own being, that you are in command of your own being, that you are not going to allow any entity to be doing anything like that. And absolutely no, in this universe, even though there is fuckery, and even though they try to force the fuckery when you've already refused consent, ultimately, universal laws are bigger than this fucking fishbowl, than this inverted time loop matrix. That at some point, they are going to be subject to true universal laws, and that your refusal of consent stands. That they are incorrect, they are wrong, they are rabid, they are insane, they are creatures, they are dead. They have no right to be doing what they're trying to do. Whether it's forcibly connecting to you, whether it's forcibly trying to mind rape you, trying to harm you, trying to do anything. They do not have any right. They are not justified. They do not have justification. There is no justification for an animated dead entity to be trying to force anything on you. So stand your ground. Don't fear. You have to remember that they're trying to use your frequencies against you. They're trying to make you fear your own frequencies. The second you realize they're trying to wear your stuff is the second your frequencies immediately revert back to within your being. Or that's the second that you are wearing your own frequencies again. That you're in your own frequencies again. So if they come forward, if they come at you, and they're trying to do that, you just always have to remember that they're trying to wear your frequencies, and they're trying to then scare you because you are more powerful than they are. So when they try and rape and wear a being's frequencies and then come at them, like that's their way of trying to put a being at a point of weakness, at a point of fear. So you just have to be cognizant and aware of what is going on. And know the second you start to feel any kind of fear, stop. Take a deep breath. Realize that motherfucker, that whore, that dead entity is trying to wear my frequencies. I don't think so. And immediately go back to that center, that true place of your true self within you, and feel it. and feel your true frequency and vibration. You have to feel it. It's you're trying to recall the feeling and the vibration and the resonance of your own frequencies, because they're doing frequency fuckery, right? That's, can you see what they're trying to do here? Can you see what they're doing with the frequency weaponry? Can you see what they've done in prior civilizations? They used the technology to do frequency fuckery to confuse beings about their own beings, is what they're trying to do. That's why I think as people go through lifetimes, and because they do this in every civilization, they really fuck shit up. Like, they shouldn't be playing with frequency weaponry. The frequency weaponry shouldn't fucking be here in a universe based in frequency, vibration, light, sound, energy, and resonance, right? Like, can you see what they're doing? Can you see how they're trying to do it? Or how they have in the past done it? Can you see how they have fucked shit up? How much trauma and harm that they have forced on benevolent beings here? Again, can't be articulated or quantified. It should not be going on. It is a massive violation of universal laws. They are just so wrong on so many levels that the universe itself should have already fucking corrected this horrificness, this shit show, and ended this parasitic farm, ended the parasitic infection. There shouldn't be a parasitic infection of that size. There just shouldn't. So back to my point. Hopefully you don't have that. You have not experienced that, and that is not being forced on you, I hope. I hope no other benevolent being is being forced to, is having that, or has that forced on them. I hope that's not occurring and being done to others. But I do mention it because, just in case, because of the things that have been forced on me and that they're trying to force. So I think it's important to make benevolent beings aware of what these entities are trying to do. And just know that no matter what's coming out of their mouth, it's always going to be a lie, con, and deceit. They're demons, they're dead entities. They're parasites. Everything coming out of their vomit holes is lies, cons, and deceptions. They're going to make it sound like they're in the right, but they're not. They're parasites. They're trying to run their shit. They're trying to run their fuckery. Right? Because they're scared, because they know that they're in massive violation of all universal laws. And they know that they would have to have your consent to actually here's the thing. In some cases, they do some actions to make it seem like they are doing those things. What they are doing is trying to use trauma and fear to force one into submission. But if you continue forward and stand your ground and refuse consent, they're still not going to be allowed. Here's the thing. The reptilians use the Illuminati because they're willing to violate universal laws. So their whole thing is they know they're in massive violation of universal laws. They're just hoping that they're going to wear down and force submission before anything is subjected to universal laws. So can you see where that's at? Like they're trying to count on, like getting submission. But as long as you stand your ground and continue to refuse consent, they're not going to get dick. They're going to put on a theater show, a trauma theater show, a forced fuckery, forced trauma, right? Because they're trying to pass it off as truth, and it's not. They don't have your consent. They're not going to get dick. Because another way to think about it is, if they're still forcibly attached to you and trying to run their fuckery and trying to do their nasty, why are they still there? Right? If they're claiming that they've stolen this or stolen that from you, then why are they still there? Why are they still running their fuckery? Why are they still trying to, you know what I mean? Like if they're trying to say that they're there for a specific purpose, or there's something about an individual that they're trying to get or trying to steal or whatever, and that being is refusing consent, and that if they start going off on saying, well, we have, that they, not we, I'm sorry, but if they are stating that or saying that they have this or that, well, then why are they still there? You always have to pull out the logic. Like, look at the logic and look at the lack of logic of what's coming out of their vomit holes. So as long as you're looking at things logically and you're aware and cognizant, and you can maintain standing your ground and not be operating out of a fear place, okay, then the better off you're going to be. Always try to be aware they're dead. These are dead parasites. They're dead. They shouldn't be here. And they have no justification. And they're in violation of all universal laws. You are in the full right, and you are fully justified in everything that you do. And continue to refuse consent. Because that's what's going to save your ass. Never, ever fucking submit. Ever. I don't care what kind of fear or trauma or whatever they're trying to force. Fuck that noise. Don't ever submit. Don't ever give in. Always try to find a way to release the fear. Use logic to dissipate the fear. Okay? In those moments, you're going to have to really within your own being, take a deep breath, calm your own being, tell yourself not to freak out, and start thinking about the logic of whatever they're trying to force. Always go back to, they're dead, they're not allowed. They don't have my consent. They're dead parasites. They don't belong here. They are not justified. I am in the full right to fully protect and defend myself. They are not allowed to be trying to do what they're trying to do. They are not. So do your best to dissipate any kind of a fear. The other thing, one of the other intents for this recording is I wanted to make light of implants. So they are, unfortunately, they have been on I don't know about everybody, or on all the ones that they're forcibly trying to torture and harm, but there are such things as etheric implants, and there's also, of course, physical implants. There's all kinds of implants, and sometimes it's hard to know which ones you're dealing with. The majority of them, I think, are etheric. They might have astral implants. I don't know for certain. Some have claimed to have physical implants. I had an experience today where I know that there is some kind of forced, I think it's an etheric implant, or it's an implant forced onto my astral body, and it's in certain places. I don't even want to talk, I really don't even want to talk about it or detail it, because they still try to interfere with these recordings in other ways. I will say that there is one that they have somehow on the side of my head, and I don't know if it's, I think it's on both sides, but it's around my ear. And then it kind of like, I think it extends up on parts of my skull. So my point in mentioning that is, if you think that you have implants, and if you think that you know where they are, use your own energy and your own intent and your own will to try and manipulate your own energy in such a way that you are affecting the implant. So either using some kind of very fast vibration of your energy, doing like rotating it, and rotating it, you could, that could go either way, either clockwise or counterclockwise. Basically, you just keep trying to rotate until you get it to have, until that there's a positive effect or a release of something, as far as like harm or pain or trauma. You continue to fuck with it, like trying to turn it this way, trying to turn it that way, trying to vibrate your energy so fast that you like pop it off. Like however you got to work your energy to get it off of you, is what I'm saying. And as you're screwing with it, you're very acutely monitoring all effects that result from each time that you're trying to mess with it, right? So, but it is possible to affect and either pop off or dismantle or dissolve or deactivate those implants. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not going to still try to continue to force. But my point, again, in mentioning this is that you are better able, in a better place to protect yourself. So hopefully those things made sense, and any kind of I'm sorry, I have to readjust my sitting position just a moment. So usually when you have strange pains or things going on in the physical body are usually indicative of some kind of a forced implant. Now, at that point, you have to figure out whether it's the physical body, the subtle body, the etheric body, the astral body, which one of those is it? Just kind of use your hands. If you've been working with your own energy and you have a good feeling in your hands, and you can kind of just hover your hands over that area in inches or degrees working outward, maybe you can kind of judge or figure out which body it's in by how far out your hand and the senses in your hand are feeling it. Right? Hopefully that made sense. So, and then try and visually or internally see it with your other senses or feel it, and then, go about trying to deactivate it or release it or dissolve it or pop it out or vibrate it out, whatever it is that you're gonna do with that. There are many ways to work with your own energy and try and remove something, release something, dissolve something using your own energy, being imaginative, making something setting it on fire, and fire that's not going to harm you because you're working with your own energy, but it's whatever that is going to be affected by your envisioning that implant being on fire. Envision a blue flame, a very hot, extremely hot blue flame that's not going to hurt you, but you intend for that blue flame to totally dissolve the implant, right? You definitely be using your imagination and using your own energy and manipulating your own energy in whatever way that you need to get it off of you, to get it out of you. The implant is what I'm speaking of there. And your intent, in your belief, it is important to know and believe that you can do those things, that you are fully capable, that with your will and your intent, that you're going to remove it, period. And there is no doubt, because they are not justified. And you were fully in the right to be removing it. So you will remove it. And it is going to be released, because you have refused consent with every cell, fiber, molecule of your being. So all of your cells in your being are refusing consent, so it should just pop right out of there, right? Because there's no consent for whatever that thing is. So there's no environment for that, whatever implant or whatever it is, to be there. There's no energy of allowance. Because you've refused consent for the implant. Okay, so hopefully that makes things more clear. And if you are one who has, or you are one that those things have been forced on, hopefully not, but just in case, it seems like I kind of do these, for whatever reason, these recordings are, because I do them spontaneously, so they're usually done in spurts, and it's because of what's being forced, what they're forcing on me. I'm in battle 24/7. And it is, like at this time, it is really difficult to try and maintain basics. It really fucking is. And if you've noticed the homeless, the percentage of homeless has gone up exponentially, like over the last 5 years. It's because of these bitches. It's because they're really they're trying to get certain things. They're trying to do certain things. I'll say it like that. And of course, that's they've done this in prior civilizations. They shouldn't be here. They shouldn't be doing what they're doing. They shouldn't have that technology. Should not be here, and obviously, they should not be anywhere near technology. And is I would say I've discussed, referred to those things in the last 2 or 3 videos, or not videos, but recordings that I've been talking on those topics, speaking on those topics. So it's at this point on this planet, because of what's being forced, if you are one who has technology forced on them to such a degree to where it's pretty much like if you're having to battle 24/7, your existence here is very different from like a percentage of the masses. Like you've got all the ones who are possessed, cloned out, checked out, hybridized, whatever. There's that percentage. And then you have the ones that are more, I guess I would say, in a sense, more ignorant or innocent. They have no idea what's going on, no awareness of what's going on at all. And then there's those of us who know what the fuck's going on. So your existence is obviously very different from the ones who are ignorant of all of this. And you are operating from a totally different place. And the more that you are aware of that, and you're making the distinction, or this, I should say, the distinction is very clear to you, then the way you go about your business here and try and operate here is obviously very different than your standard the ones who are ignorant, that are being led, or just they're doing things by routine, right? They think life is a certain way, or they just they don't have any idea about this, so they're just operating from a different place. And it's not going to be really helpful to be interacting or commingling with those ones. All that's going to do is cause more stress for you, unfortunately. So, like I said, existence over the last few years, personally for me, and actually it's been more than a few years, but is very different than the ones that are ignorant. So most don't have a clue that I'm in battle 24/7. And I would at this point refer to my last 2 recordings. And if you've listened to those, that should give you an idea, or that should relay, or I'd like to be, I have to be specific with my wording sometimes. So I would say that is a snapshot of my current goings on. And they're not really mine, they're being forced. So they're a snapshot of the forced goings on. Okay, let me see if there was... What it feels like is that, to me personally, is that this is coming to a climactic point. They've been in massive fear and very frenzied for a while now. It just seems like there's a climactic point that this planet and the civilization is coming to. So I'm hoping that it gets here soon, that it happens soon, because there are so many beings screaming on this planet, and there's so much harm and trauma being forced on this planet that there must be correction. There must be some kind of an event or climactic point that happens. Because this shit cannot continue. It can't. It is so out of balance and so malevolent and so horrific and abhorrent and vile what is being forced here, that it must stop. The AI system is a technological parasite. It is an abomination. Yes, there are perks to it. There are perks to it because it's a parasite. It's trying to suck you in. Right? It's trying to parasite off of you. So it makes things appealing. When they're really not appealing, it's what it's doing is trying to rape you. I find that is because, so I'm in battle 24/7. There are times when I need reprieve. So I'll take a few minutes or half an hour or whatever to like maybe watch a puppy video, right? Or to deal with some of the, release some of the stress, or, you know, small things like that. And even taking a break or trying to get a reprieve for that 30 minutes there while I'm watching the puppy video, right? They're doing all kinds of, trying to do all kinds of fuckery. That just is, it's just more, they're trying to force more shit for me to fucking deal with. I mean, this is, it's abhorrent and vile, but it's fucking ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Like, this whole fucking place is ridiculous. It's asinine. It's a synonym of those words, right? Find a synonym. I'm just saying. Shit's ridiculous. They should have been ended long ago. They should have been removed long ago. All of this should have been corrected long ago. That technology shouldn't fucking be here. They shouldn't be doing what they're doing here, right? Like, this is out of control. This is out of hand. This has got to stop. It's ridiculous. It's abhorrent. And, right, this is not any kind of, what's being forced here is not anything I fucking signed up for. I didn't sign up for an inverted time loop matrix. I'm sorry, my stomach is making noises. So yeah, I didn't sign up for an inverted time loop matrix in where there are animated dead parasites present. Like I didn't sign up for that. I need to find the exits. So if you're in that same place, I mean, it sucks. It does. And there are those out there, like I've said before, you can find happy times. You can find happy moments. But it's, if you are one who's listening to these recordings, most likely you have the same kinds of nasty being forced on you. And it's a real challenge to find those happy moments in those happy times. So I'm sure that you're doing the best that you can. And like, I don't like, because I'm not really talking about things in a positive light, or I would love to have a positive light on all of this. I would. But look at what's being forced. They're trying to forcibly possess beings. I'm in battle 24/7. It's a real fucking challenge to try and be all full of light and love. You know what I mean? I'm here to try and help others better protect themselves. And that's pretty much been a strong point of my channel. I'm sure you can find your, I'm sure there are others on YouTube or wherever on other platforms that you visit for your fix of positivity, right? Here, I'm trying to help others survive. And I try to make others aware of tools and things that can assist them in better protecting and defending themselves. Right? I'm not here to bake a fucking cake. So, because that's the time that we're in. That's the time that we're in. I didn't make it like that, right? I'm trying to find the fucking exits. So I'm trying to do my best. I'm doing what I can to survive. And I try to help others do the same. So I think those were the points that I wanted to make light of. And yeah, so I don't want to drag this out. So hopefully you're doing your best to stay strong. And know and believe in yourself, trust your knowledge and your wisdom. Know that you can do things. Know that you are powerful. Know that you are a creator, that you can create things, that you can manifest things. That's if you've got nasty dead parasites forcibly attached to you, that's why. That's one of the reasons why, is because you are a powerful manifester. And you have gifts, skills, and abilities. So know it yourself. Believe in yourself and know it for yourself. And then work trying to be operating from that place. And that should also dissipate any fear of them. Like it's you, unfortunately, having to constantly put them in their place, which is they need to get the fuck out and get the fuck off. They shouldn't be here. They're dead. They have to be terminated. They must be removed from this universe. They must be terminated. They do not belong here. They're dead. They're parasites. So you're always having to put dead parasites in their place and force them out, is where that's at. And everything coming out of their vomit holes is lies, cons, and deceit. And having to constantly override the lie, con, and deceit, their lies, cons, and deceits frequencies with your own truth frequency and vibration. It's just that sometimes it's a real challenge because of the frequency fuckery. So, all right. So I'll wrap this up and do your best to stay strong. And until next time.